A man's flying a hot air balloon lost for hours when he spies a man in the field below. He lowers the balloon to yell, "Excuse me, can you tell me where I am and how to get to Lerwick?" The man in the field says, "Sure. You're at 58 degrees, 59 minutes, 5 seconds north by 2 degrees, 57 minutes, 29 seconds east. And to get to Lerwick, you must travel 166 kilometers to the northeast." "You must be an architect," says the balloonist. "Why do you say that?" says the man in the field. "Because what you told me, though technically correct, doesn't help my current situation at all." "Well, you must be a contractor," replies the man in the field. "Why is that?" says the balloonist. "Because you have no idea where you are and how to get to where you're going. And somehow it's all my fault." That's one of my favorite jokes, poking fun at the relationship between a builder and a design professional. But lately I've been pondering our responsibilities as building designers to provide accurate construction drawings and how to react when there's problems in the field. And not too long ago I designed a townhouse building. I received a call from the builder. He said a beam was lower than the ceiling and that there was a problem with the beam being too high in another area. In his opinion, the mason messed everything up and was about to have him tear the whole back down of all 6 units and rebuild them. Well, I got him to text me some photos that I thought told me the whole story. I replied saying that the problem had a simple solution and that I could come up with a repair. It seemed as though he wanted me to visit the project, though. I reluctantly agreed, and I'm glad I did. It turns out that the lion's share of the issues were my fault. The building's located where reinforced masonry is used almost exclusively for the first floor exterior walls, and is desired wherever it's possible for the second floor. And in this case, one of the second floor walls didn't align with the one below, so a concrete lintel beam was designed to carry the load through a room below. Now, my cut section showed the top of the beam matching the surrounding wall heights, which was 11 feet. And the floor system was 20 inches, which means that the beam could only be 20 inches or it would protrude down into the ceiling of the room below. However, the engineered beam plan called for a 32-inch beam in that location to carry the load. Now, even though the mason, the superintendent, and the builder could have noticed that there was something that needed to be corrected, they didn't. That is, not until it was time to set the trusses. Now, the mason's mistake was an easy fix. We just needed to conventionally frame the roof in that area instead of using prefabricated trusses. My mistake was going to be visible. Now, framing down the ceiling in the 4th bedroom from 9'4" to 8'4" in all 6 units was the only resolution. Had I caught the change in beam size during coordination, we could have devised a plan B, like using wood framing instead of masonry for the upper wall, or specifying an 8'4" ceiling in the bedroom from the get-go. Now, here are 4 lessons that I learned from this event. 1. Get a hold of all the consulting professionals' drawings and specifications and coordinate them with yours. Make sure everything works or make adjustments to your design accordingly. 2. Right from the start, offer your assistance to help find a solution that's amicable to all the parties. Sometimes things just can't be fixed, but you might avoid a lawsuit by taking a leadership position and providing exemplary customer service, even when it's not your fault, maybe even when it is. And not to mention the potential for referrals from the builder or some subcontractor that made a mistake. We're all human. A building is one of the most expensive and extensive handmade products there is. Thousands of components are involved, and many times there's more than one way to do things. Now, wouldn't you refer others that you knew had your back? 3. Be willing to do what it needs to be done to correct the problem as soon as possible. Now, if you're in the position to drop what you're doing, that's great. I'm not suggesting that, unless maybe you're the culprit. Now, set aside a morning or afternoon each week on the calendar. Tell your clients, we reserve Wednesdays just for these kind of issues, or whatever day it is. And if that week there aren't any issues, bonus. Now, I'd keep a scoreboard for that on the wall, like the 365 days without an accident sign. And 4, use technology we have available to us. I knew what I was designing was slightly different from the norm, and I thought about creating a 3D model of the beam plan and pasting it to the working drawings. Had I, the beam sizing may have been caught in the design phase. And if it wasn't, the mason might have paused and thought, what I'm being asked to build doesn't look like the picture. Do you want to know more stories about what happens in the field? AIBD fellow and Vice President Ted Hake recently moved into a home he designed and was the general contractor. From what he's told me, there are tons of mistakes being made that designers may not even know about. I've talked Ted into joining me for a Tuesday at 2 webinar to enlighten us on these situations and teach us how and where we need to be more involved in our projects. I'll share other mistakes that I've made in the field, how I've worked hard to avoid lawsuits, and how I could have avoided one case, but thanks to a mistake by the builder, I was found not liable. That's tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, and a webinar replay will be available for 30 days. Now visit AIBD/Tuesday at 2 using the word at and the number 2. The cost is $50 and AIBD members get a 60% discount. Get the code by logging into your account at aibd.org/hub or contact the A-Team by email or phone. But please don't wait until the last minute to do it. And AIBD CPBDs will get 1 CE primary business credit for attending the live event. Now, what stories do you have from the field? Tell me in the comments below. And thanks for watching this entire video. Have a triumphant week.